Hello and welcome to another On Deck Baseball product video. Today we're going to be diving back into the On Deck Baseball Pro version of the game, the historical game. And today we're going to showcase another new arrival that's come into the History's Best of the Best series, and that is History's Best of the Best 9. We're going to take a look at the box, just the typical boxes that everybody has grown accustomed to. And we're going to open up that leaf and take a look at the teams that are listed in here. So we have the 1914 Boston National League team, 1929 Baltimore of the American Negro League, 1935 Chicago National League, 1961 Detroit American League, 1976 Hankyu Japanese Pacific League, 1983 Chicago American League, 1998 Houston National League, and the 2004 Boston American League, probably one of the most anticipated teams in the set. So we're going to crack this baby open and see what we have here. Get the cards right in the center there. I'm going to close up this box. So first we're going to start off with 1914 Boston National League, and they're going to start off with Rabbit Maranville. And I do love the uniforms in these sets. The artist did a fantastic job with that. But we have Rabbit Maranville, Hank Gowdy, Charles Schmidt, Johnny Evers, formerly of Chicago, with the 1906 ball club, Tinkers to Evers to Chance. And we go through right down to the pitchers of this team. And we're going to start off with Dick Rudolph, Bill James, a 1.90 ERA, 1.14 whip. Some fantastic players here, Otto Hess. And we're going to continue on with our next team, and as you see on the screen is going to be 1929 American Negro League. This is one of several Negro League teams that have made their way into these sets. Fantastic that I can include them here. We're going to start off with Rap Dixon, a .415 average, a .482 on-base percentage in 1929. Jud Wilson, he's showcased in a couple other teams, I believe. Bob Clark, Frank Warfield. We'll go down to the pitchers. Oh, we do have Jesse Hubbard. He's pretty known. I learned a lot by making these teams myself. A lot of players I had never heard of before. Lamon Yoakley, 3.59 ERA, 1.37 whip, and a 3.48 ERA with a 1.5 whip for Willis Forney. So some fantastic Negro League teams here with 1929 Baltimore American Negro League. Rap Dixon, the star of that team. Now we're going to head over to Chicago, and we're going to talk about 1935 Chicago National League. This is a famous team. We got Gabby Hartnett doing the catching duties behind the plate, 344 average, 404 on base. Billy Herman, 341, 383, 7 home runs. Some Hall of Famers on this team. A great ball club, Stan Hack. And we got, of course, the pitching. Lon Warnick, Bill Lee, some fantastic players on this team. Now we're going to head over to a largely forgotten team in the 1961 season, the 1961 Detroit American League Ball Club. And some fantastic players here. We got Rocky Colavito, known for his power and his prodigious power numbers during the 1960s. A .290 average, 45 home runs. We got Norm Cash, 361 in 1961 with 41 home runs. Dick Brown behind the plate. Jake Wood. Al Kaline over in right field, fantastic player, 19 home runs, 324 average. This is a fantastic team that largely goes unnoticed because of that other team from New York in 1961. And for pitching on this ball club, we got Frank Larry, 3.24 ERA, 1.16 whip, had a record of 23-9. And Jim Bunning, 3.19 ERA, 1.13 whip, 17 wins. And then you also have Don Massey, who was known as a reliever mostly, but he had some great starts for 1961 Detroit. And from 1961 Detroit, we're going to head over to Japan, and we're going to the Hankyu Braves of Japan Pacific League. I am going to try my hardest with some of these names, but we got Yutaka Fukumoto, 282 average, 8 home runs, 62 stolen bases. Robert Marcano was over there, 25 home runs. A Bernie Williams, not the Bernie Williams I'm familiar with, but I learned a lot about this guy. 15 home runs, 271 average. Hideji Kato, 28 home runs, 300 average, and a 376 on base. And then you go to their pitchers. The pitchers had some legendary players there for this Japanese ball club. Hisashi Yamada, a 2.39 ERA, 1.02 whip, 143 Ks. He did win 26 games against 7 losses, 23 complete games there. And then we also have Mitsuhiro Adachi, 2.54 ERA, 1.10 whip, and a record of 17-8. So that is the Japanese ball club that's included in a set. And then we head back to Chicago, this time for 1983, and possibly my favorite uniforms in this set. And that is 1983 Chicago American League. We're starting off with Carlton Fisk, the earlier Pudge to Ivan Rodriguez, but this Pudge batted .289, 355 on-base percentage, 26 home runs in 1983, and a fantastic catcher behind the plate. We have some great players throughout this team. Julio Cruz, Vance Law, Ron Kittle, Rudy Law, some great players. Hall of Famer Harold Baines, Greg Luzinski getting a turn in Chicago. And then we get to the pitchers, and we have Lamarr Hoyt, who had some fantastic years in Chicago in the early to mid-'80s. 3.66 ERA, 1.02 whip, and a record of 24-10 in 1983. Richard Dobson, Floyd Bannister, Britt Burns, Dennis Lamp, some great players, 1983 Chicago American League. Then we're heading to Houston, 1998. And this is a great team for a couple of reasons. One, filled with Hall of Famers. And two, you get a surprise appearance by a Hall of Famer that you might not necessarily remember on this team. We start off with Craig Biggio at second base, a .325 hitter, 20 home runs. Jeff Bagwell, a .304 hitter, 34 home runs. Brad Ausmus behind the plate, great catcher in the 90s. Ricky Gutierrez, Moises Alou, a fantastic year in 1998, 38 home runs, .312 average. Bill Spires, Carl Everett, Derek Bell, another great player. Sean Berry, Richard Hidalgo, some fantastic position players. And then you get to the pitchers. And you start off with Shane Reynolds, 3.51 ERA, 19-8 record, which is good. Okay, great pitcher. Jose Lima had a good year. Mike Hampton had a good year. Sean Bergman had a good year. And then you get to this guy, Randy Johnson. Late trade acquisition in 1998 with Houston, a 1.28 ERA, a .98 whip, and a record of 10-1 with 4 complete games after coming over to Houston. Now take a look at this matrix. That is going to be hard to hit off of. So that is Randy Johnson in the 1998 Houston National League club, before they switched over to the American League. And then we go with one of the highly anticipated teams in on-deck baseball, and that is 2004 Boston American League. Manny being Manny, and I love the uniforms, classic style for Boston. We have Manny Ramirez, 308 average, a .397 on-base percentage, 43 home runs. Big Pappy, David Ortiz, 301 average, 41 home runs. Jason Varitek behind the plate, love that artwork. Kevin Millar, Mark Bellhorn, take a look at that artwork. That's fantastic. 17 home runs for Mark. Pokey Reese, Johnny Damon, sporting a beard and long hair, 20 home runs, 304 average. Bill Mueller, Gabe Kapler. And then we're going to take it to the pitchers, and I think you all know who is going to be on this pitching staff. We got Curt Schilling, 3.26 ERA, 1.06 whip, 21 home runs. Pedro Martinez, 3.90 ERA, 1.17 whip, and a 16-9 record. Tim Wakefield, Derek Lowe, and we get to the closer, Keith Folk. So some great players on this team, Hall of Famers as well, for the 2004 American League Ball Club. That is your History's Best of the Best 9 set. And if not available already, they will be going up for pre-orders soon. I hope you guys enjoy this set. I enjoyed making this set and exploring all of these teams and players, and some of which I had no idea about, so I learned a lot myself. So I hope you guys enjoy this set. Looking forward to seeing your reactions. Hit that thumbs up, leave a comment below if you can, and I appreciate you spending some time with me. Have a good night.